I'll say just honestly, just lock in, man. I think the biggest thing nowadays, everybody has social media and stuff, and like sometimes you just got to put the phone down. Sometimes you got to figure out who you are. And I see people all the time. They're like, "How do you figure out what you want to do?" And like, I got big dreams to be rich and famous, or just rich, but I just don't know what to do. I got so many things I want to do. A lot of people don't like remove themselves from the crowd, or like you'll never put down the weed, or you never put down the alcohol, or you got to really remove yourself from all this stuff, and like maybe put down your phone for once, just think and like just sit back. And sometimes it might make you cry. You might be to go into some deep depression shit, but it'll trigger that thing in your brain to think and to figure out what you really want to do. So that's my biggest advice. That's something that I did and that worked for me.
Are you a superhero to your kid?
Absolutely.
Not when your boss is in the room. What's best for your kids is to put your money into something, the stress, go through all of it, so when your child becomes a man, he doesn't have to work for nobody.
Right, well, that's the
you
whole
can
thing.
just pass it to him. Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. That's priceless.
But
Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you could pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there? I taught my son never to have a boss. He's 23. He owns a restaurant. He has cookies. He has equity. He busts his ass so he can pass it on to his son. If that's not what you're hustling for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you. My kids, you enjoy the safety and the security of a job every day. But there's no pride in that to me. But when you do something that's for yourself and your family, it never feels like work. I hustle for my last name. I don't hustle for my first.
What I've learned in this is that it's about distinguishing yourself. It's about, even in life, it's about the unique things about you. You know what I'm saying? Not the blend in, not the common denominators. I don't think that's what it's about. It's about expressing the unique qualities of what you are and who you are, and actually being loud with it. You know what I'm saying?
Bold with it.
Yeah, with the unique elements of who you are. That's what makes a person dope. When you come across them, you be like, damn, you know, this is a unique this is a unique flavor. This is a different frequency.
Yeah.
And that's how you kind of know they being honest, because everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? And so if they are operating in like a type or like a mold, it's because they're not expressing the unique shit about them.
Every day you should be fighting to get better. But what are you living for? Life with no purpose is not life. You know, living to survive is depressing. And that's the reason why most people are depressed. They're not dreaming. You have to visualize your dream. And the dream to me is always to get paid to do something that you would do for free. Period. So if you're doing something you would do for free, if you love it, you should be doing it so much you're the best at it, and that you're so good at it that you get paid.
People
you have
want
to be inspired.
Yeah.
You know, and then understanding multiples and understanding what that means and all the business that comes with it. You know, it's a challenge. It's not meant to. Life's not meant to be easy, and people think it is. It's not. It's meant to push boundaries. You're meant to sacrifice so the people you love do not have the same problems.
Right.
Until you figure it out, find you a hustle, make your money, and like you gotta have something figured out. Like you gotta have a goal, and you just gotta work towards. You gotta manifest. Like it's a whole lot of power in your tongue, and you just gotta speak it into existence and work towards it.
Patience is needed. So the problem with people that are in survival mode is they want to get air and oxygen as soon as possible. So, you know, thinking that you have to buy something and fix it and go through all the loans and whatever it takes to go through it, you know, sometimes it might take a year or two to start getting money. But that happens. In a real business, corporately, it takes 10 years of loss to actually start to have profit. This is what you're programmed to believe. And that's what intimidates people from doing it. And that's what makes people have to use other people's money. But at the end of the day, anything that's going to make you a profit is not going to happen most of the time in a month. It's not going to happen sometimes in a year. But as long as you're fighting and doing something you love and you're seeing it actually evolve, then that's what should be fueling your fire. And you have to expect some struggle. It's going to happen. It's part of the game. You have to struggle a little when you're starting a business. It's never rosy.
And just being uncomfortable always exists. Like that's one of those things is you never gonna fully be comfortable, especially when you want to be number one. So if you want to be number one, you never really gonna be comfortable because you always got somebody else is like coming. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always somebody else coming. And I think the biggest thing is just like always keeping yourself motivated. Like so if you can find motivation in the right situations and like maybe you don't look at everything like it's still competition, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll see other comedians do certain stuff, but it motivates me to like, okay, I see that. I see what you're doing. Okay, I'm about to one up it.
Right.
And not copy and not like compare or do the same thing that they did or at a better rate, but like really like just up it.
It's a mentality. I want to have generations of this. What if your kids aren't as strong as you? What if your kids' kids aren't as strong as you? Then what?